Life is too short to play small. You were designed for big things. You are listening to the Big Design Energy Podcast. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Marissa. And I've been feeling like I want to touch on human design a little more. I am shifting away from really direct conversations with it in my private coaching because ultimately human design is a system to appease the mind. So the founder, Ra Uru, who said himself, the reality is all behind that, right? It's about connecting with your inner knowing, your inner guidance system, the magnetic monopole, which is automatically just magnetizing you and directing you and taking you where you need to be if the mind would only sit back, relax, stop trying to control, stop trying to think it knows what it's doing. So I know, depending on how familiar you are, some of this may be repetition, but there are certain things, wait to respond, wait for an invitation. There's certain types, there's certain strategies and different authorities, like wait for your wave, where you feel like you got the short end of the stick because you have to wait. And then there's these other types where you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait 28 days. You just get to take action. You just get to inform. But it's all bullshit. What is true is we all are waiting. And I'm going to break it down and I'm going to show you how your natural state, regardless of your type, regardless of your strategy, regardless of your authority, is revolving around waiting. So we're going to tell the mind, no more. We're not going to feel shorted if we have to wait. It's like, what's the rush anyways, right? So this first episode, we're going to go over type and strategy. Next episode will be all about authority. Let's dive in. So, quick recap. The type is gotten from your quantum human design, your body graph. So that is your personality part, your design part, coming together, held together by that magnetic monopole, which creates your body graph, which then you get one of the 5 types. So this is also your aura. Very plainly speaking, this is your aura. So this is how you impact others. It's really just a generalization of how you impact others. This archetype of who you are. And the great part of human design with this basics is if you don't want to dive deep, if when I say magnetic monopole, you go, I don't understand and I don't want to understand, that's fine. But as long as you are aware of your type, your strategy, and your authority, and you make your decisions using that as the leader versus your mind as the leader, then you'll be good. Because remember, the mind, the ajna, and the head center, those are being guided. That is the passenger. So it is being guided. It is not doing the guiding. It does not know where to guide you. So why would you listen to it when it tries to guide you? So we're all starting from this waiting baseline. It's the absence of action. Okay? So instead of taking action, no one here is designed to take action. We are here to be. Just be. It does not matter what you do, what action you take, especially if you're following the mind. Okay, now that I've gotten that out of the way, first up, generators. Generators are generators because they have their sacral center defined. So this is this life force energy, this joy, this femininity, this action taking. And I know I just said no one is designed to take action. And so this is one of the first, major things I want to make sure is fully understood is that generators are here to take action with a very hard asterisk when it is with what they love, okay? With what lights you up, with what brings you joy. Then the action will happen naturally, but you're not forcing yourself to take action. You're not saying yes to something that's a maybe. You're not saying yes to something that's a no, that's for damn sure. But this is when you find yourself in that frustration, which is a not self theme, giving you a little peek that you're out of alignment, and you want to move to satisfaction. And that satisfaction is ultimately following your strategy, which is waiting to respond to what lights you up. So you are one of the ones that has the wait to respond, the word wait, in your actual strategy. So you might have felt slighted before. I know I've talked to a few generators who, in the process of understanding human design, were jealous of me as a manifestor, the fact that I didn't have to wait. But that's not true. We'll get more onto that soon. But I feel the issue is the word wait is misunderstood. So waiting is an active state. It's an active state of being. So you're not having to do anything, but you are fully aware, fully present. This all goes back to what I say, being present in the moment so that you can be guided to respond to what lights you up. Then you live a life that is full of satisfaction instead of frustration. On to manifestors. As I just mentioned, I myself am a manifestor, and manifestors around 9%. I think it might be rising to 11, 12%, maybe even 15 at over the next few years of the population. The goal here is to expand the collective. And we do that by bringing the unknown, by bringing stuff past this, what you might say, reality, into this reality. So from the unknown into our current quote unquote reality. That is very hard to do when you are responding to this reality. So when manifestors play like they are a generator, they play like their strategy is to respond, they're doing it wrong. What the strategy of the manifestor is inform and initiate. So since you have your throat center connected to a motor center, your throat is energized, meaning you speak into existence what you want, the support you need, so that you can feel peace, and then initiate whatever action, whatever project, whatever idea, inspiration, piece of art, recipe, podcast, whatever. It doesn't have to be anything. Don't put any expectations or pressures on your manifestations as a manifestor. While saying all of this strategy, Ra Uru Hu himself said that in reality, that's just to make manifestors feel better, because there really is no strategy for manifestors. It's all about navigating this plane so that our auras, which are built to protect this energy, since we are having to reach into the unknown, stretch into the unknown, expand the collective, our aura's closed off to protect our energy. So we're not just giving our energy away to other people. On the flip side, the generator's aura is enveloping, right? It magnetizes you, it draws you in. I have to say, as a manifestor, being around generators for a few hours, now having this awareness, I feel drained. I feel so drained, but that's beside the point. Okay. So, how are manifestors waiting? Right? This is the juicy one, because this is the one that everyone says you don't have to wait. You just get to take action. You get to say what you want, and then you just do what you want. And then since you told people what you want, that's your strategy, and then everything's going to be fine. Okay. There really is a cycle to the manifestor inspiration initiation. And it starts off being ready for something new. Then that's where those short bursts of actions come in. Then you get bored. You let go. You cut ties. And then you need to rest and reflect. The majority, and it obviously varies by person, but the majority of the time as a manifestor, how I'm viewing it is again an active state of rest. I am actively resting so that when this next initiation comes through to me, and then I'm ready to inform people about it and then actually take action on that initiate that initiation, I have enough energy to do so. It's an active state of waiting. I'm not just coming up with crazy ideas all day, every day. No. Not self for a manifestor is anger. Angry that people don't understand. Angry that you're responding like the other 70% of the population with generators and MGs. And you're getting nowhere. I can definitely speak on personal experience for that one. Then moving to peace. And I can also definitely speak from personal experience on that one. And peace, my friends, that is the active state of waiting. Simply being. Being aware of the reality, but not responding to it. Not taking cues from it. It doesn't matter what is happening in my reality, because this reality isn't real. That's a whole nother thing, right? That is what I work on with my clients one-on-one. I don't even want to call it coaching because I'm not coaching you. It's something completely different, which is not surprising as a manifestor, right? So manifesting generators, these are hybrids, right, of the generator, manifestor charts, graphs, qualities. Generally speaking, they are generators first. Each individual's different. Each chart, you can look at the chart and see, but it really is about responding to something first and then initiating that. And so you inform on whatever project, whatever inspiration you get from the response that was gut driven, gut felt. MGs are often described as multitaskers, but lately I have been hearing from MGs or people who know MGs who don't feel like multitaskers. Again, guys, this is a generalization and you do not have to be everything. You do not have to be the typical MG multitasker, right? So with MGs, it's that you have this sacral energy to complete what you love, as well as you have a motorized throat so you can inform others and kind of assist yourself in the completion of what you're responding to through informing. So you're going to be able to have maybe some shortcuts available because you have all this energy to play with, and because you can inform and get assistance that way. That is why we see, shortcuts. You're able to multitask because you're able to work on a few things you love at one time because you have that energy, and because you're able to receive support in whatever ways you receive through the informing that you do. But again, like with generators and manifestors, you are going to be in an active state of waiting, being, until you find the thing to respond to. And then once you respond to it, then you inform it. There's nothing wrong with waiting. And there's nothing wrong with doing. But you don't have to look for the doing. You don't have to search for the right action, because when you are aware and when you are waiting, being, so when you are fully being, the action will naturally follow, because you will naturally be listening to your soul, your higher consciousness, whatever you want to call it, and that is going to be the one directing you. So the action that's right for you will follow, versus the mind who says, try posting on social media, try sending an email out. Oh, you need to call this guy. Oh, you need to do this. That didn't work. Try this. That didn't work. Try this. Right? There's a difference. Now on to projectors. So projectors are guides. They do not have an energy center connected to the throat. They do not have their sacral center defined. These are guides. They deeply see things. Their aura is penetrating. They are able to just stare into your soul and see the big picture, see what you need to be doing, how to help guide you, and once again, doing from the point of your soul, not what you think you should be doing. The strategy is wait for an invitation. So we have another rating strategy. And spoiler, our next and last, type will also have a waiting strategy. Wait for the invitation. Okay. We need to have some rules here, right? I guess not rules, whatever. Some clarification. This really needs to be waiting for an invitation so that you can guide someone, but with that guidance, there's zero expectation or pressure. You will not give someone guidance. They come to you, okay, I need some help. Can you help me through this? Sure. You share with them what you see, and they don't take your guidance. Now you're angry at them. You're annoyed. You're like, why do I even help you? Why do I even tell you what I'm thinking? You're not even going to listen to me. Yikes. No, right? That's not what we want to do. That's the not self theme of bitterness showing up. And that's why you especially need to wait for the invitation. Because if you are just giving guidance willy-nilly, I've shared this before on here, my husband's a projector, and when he gives me guidance without me asking, it was so clear. I can remember just the first time I realized it, to where I'm like, you're trying to share something with me and I'm not available for it. And I wasn't mad. I wasn't upset. I wasn't even annoyed. I was just like, whatever you're saying, I'm not listening to right now. But he got bitter. He got annoyed. He got upset. And it was very interesting to see. So definitely wait for the invitation. Again, and waiting is an active state. So being actively aware, you might not have to wait for someone to be like, oh, I want your advice. You can ask, you can take the reins on that, right? You can say, is it okay if I share something with you? Is it okay if I offer my thoughts, my opinions on this matter? Do whatever you need to do if you really feel like you need to share with someone. But again, make sure that that sharing comes with no expectation or pressure on the individual you are sharing it with, because then you are just continually giving yourself a disservice and them. So moving from the not self of bitterness into success, which I really like as labeled more recognition. It's just being seen, being valued, being recognized. And that doesn't even mean like too overtly. Like someone doesn't even have to verbalize your value to them, right? You're just able to feel it. Our last type, reflectors. These precious people are around 1% of the population. There's zero definition in their chart, meaning they have defined gates, but none of those gates connect to a corresponding gate, which then creates a channel, which then creates definition in the centers. So these are really the mirrors. They reflect what is going on in society, in reality, in the world. Big lunar beings, oftentimes this is called the strategy, wait 28 days, wait a lunar cycle. So again, of course, obviously the word wait. And this really is an active state of being. For reflectors, they, in particular, really need to be aware of the environment they are in and the environment and the energies that surround them. So their environment and their energies. Certain places might not work well with them. Certain people might not work well with them. And they just need to be aware, make adjustments, course correct, and not hang out in those environments or with those people, right? With those energies. Maybe certain social media platforms they don't like engaging on, listening to the news, whatever. They're able to be like a warning system. So they can see what's going wrong. They can see what's going right very easily. Let's talk about the not self and the signature theme. So their not self is disappointment, signature theme, anticipation. So why they get disappointed is because they either don't wait until they're ready to make a decision, or they're disappointed because they had thought things were going to work out a certain way and then they ended up not working out a certain way. Getting to that signature theme of anticipation, of surprise, is simply being present in the moment. Being fully aware that they and the rest of the world have zero fucking clue what is going to happen next. The mind cannot see anything past this moment. So everything that happens has the ability to be a surprise. Our minds like to think of things in continuity. I woke up this morning, then I had my breakfast like I do every day, then I went to work like I do every day. I came home, I ate dinner, I went to bed, And then I woke up in the same physical body, in the same place I went to sleep at last night, next to my same partner, with the same schedule, blah, blah, blah. But it's not the truth. There are always opportunities to be surprised. So especially reflectors, when you take this pressure off, when you take yourself out of environments and energies that are not working with you, that is when you have the freedom of surprise, of anticipation. Who knows what is going to happen next? How fun is that? I think that is so much fun. And then I honestly think every single type, every single person on this planet, aka, needs to be adopting this mentality, ? What's the right word? This viewpoint of that we really do not know what is going to happen next. And the way to align yourself with the future you desire is simply by being present in the moment. So reflectors, you do not have to wait 28 days to make a decision. The reasoning behind that length of time is the lunar cycle, is see the different transits that happen, how you react, how you reflect back that energy, how you feel. Maybe at the beginning of the month, you're excited. The middle, you're not so sure. And the end, you're really not excited about it. Ultimately, the more practice with the active waiting, the easier it will be for you to be in tune with yourself, with your higher self, and make decisions without having to wait a month. Really, like I said, when you are connected, when you are aware, when you are in the present moment, then naturally, what you need to experience next will come to you. You will experience it. I hope this gave you a little newer insight, a fresh take on how every type, how every person benefits from waiting, and how it doesn't matter what type you are. Of course, it's human nature, right? The mind can find a reason why, I wish I would have been that type. I wish I could have been a MG because they get to do everything. I wish I could have been a reflector, projector, manifestor, generator. Whatever type you are is exactly what you need to be. Follow the strategy. Ultimately, stay in the active state of waiting. Stay in the being, and you will be guided. Next episode, talking authority and how to intertwine that in with your strategy. Thank you for listening to Big Design Energy. Please share with your friends, share on social media if this resonated with you today. Rate, review, and subscribe